What's good, people? I go by the name of K10, and this is Business and Booze, brought to you by Custodian, sponsored by Car Tequila, and coming to you from Days and Nights Studios. Today, we have with us another special guest. He is a self-taught interior designer and the creative director at S.ea.Consulting, amongst a host of other things that I'm sure we will learn about through this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, Anderson Edewor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Such an honor.
So the first thing I'm going to say is I've seen a lot of your work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of your work features a lot of color, and you have come here today in black and white. What's going on?
So I always say that it's better for my work to speak. So I rather come very simple.
I see. And I always try to wonder, like, as a creative, do you get people say to you that, oh, I really want to know what it's like inside your mind or inside your head? Is it colors?
People say that a lot, but I agree. There's a lot of color in my mind and in my head.
Yeah. And so your use of color, is that like an expression of your personality?
It's an expression based off the fact that I can wear them. So I'd rather use them to excite other people.
I see. Have you ever tempted though? Just to
wear colors?
Mm-hmm.
I try maybe when I'm traveling first. When I'm traveling, I always think I can handle it, but I always can't.
Yeah. You're a PH boy. Or you grew up in PH, or you did some of your schooling in PH?
University, yes.
Oh, just university?
Yes, so I'm more around Delta States, River State, and then Lagos.
I see.
So I've always shot to those three states growing up.
So we're trying to understand.
I'm a Port Harcourt boy. If they hear that I deny them, I'm in trouble.
You have to quickly correct yourself.
Yes, I have to.
That's very good. So we're trying to, I guess what we want the audience to get from this is the journey to where you are now, right? Because I know like in university you did that, was it geophysics? Physics.
Yeah, geophysics.
And you have now found yourself as an interior designer. Are there any parallels there?
So for me, I've always exhibited these traits. Well, growing up from typical Nigerian homes where you have to be an engineer or a doctor or whatever. So I think I was pushed into engineering, and for some funny reason, I got into physics. It was interesting and challenging, but that didn't stop me. So everything I'm doing today started up from my schooling days. So I knew I had to fill in something to excite me to finish the course. So yeah, I was already doing fashion in my head. And then interior design for me wasn't very visible. But for some funny reason, I was just always designing my room by myself. And then I had my first clothing store, I designed it by myself as well. Okay. And then people will come to the store more interested in the space than the clothes.
The clothes, interesting.
So they started poking me to do certain places for them. Okay, I'll try, and pretty much.
And was this in Port Harcourt?
Yeah, in Port Harcourt.
This was all in Port Harcourt?
Yeah, all in Port Harcourt actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. The good people at Car Tequila presenting this to you.
Well, thank you so much.
There you go.
Yeah, and I'm a Skull fan. So I really do appreciate it.
You say you're a Skull fan?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, branded.
I'm a big fan of Skulls. Thank you so much.
Do you maybe infuse that into your work anyhow?
I live with them in my house.
So that one is for home.
Yes, for
home.
You
don't use it for... because I'm not sure how receptive people are of skulls and this sort of things.
Yeah, I think the only time you can probably play with skulls, maybe during Halloween, maybe. You'll be able to handle it. But for a day-to-day, I don't think.
And seeing as this is business and booze, we're going to have a bit of booze. We've had some cocktails mixed with the Car Tequila.
Okay, so that'll be nice to try. Thank you so much.
Quick cheers. There we go. What do you think?
Nice.
Let me see what yours looks like. Is this sweet or?
It has like caffeine or chocolate base.
Interesting. This one is Spicy. All right, but it goes down quite well, actually.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Back to you. And you also set up I think a boutique hotel, right? Was this in Port Harcourt as well?
So the hotel started in Port Harcourt. We had a 4-bedroom, but what we have now is in Lagos, it's a 12-bedroom.
So at the time when you were setting up this boutique hotel in Port Harcourt, was there a plan? Okay, well, this is the first one, or you were just doing what felt right to do at the time?
Yeah, I think I was living at that point. I wasn't sure it was going to grow into something. Yeah, I knew there was a need for something like that in Port Harcourt, and then we tried to push.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what happened first.
So at that point, were you even referring to yourself as an interior designer?
No, I wasn't.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't actually.
You were just expressing?
I was just expressing, yes.
Okay. So a lot of people kind of just find themselves in new endeavors. So as I said, you started with physics, right? And you are here now. What I also feel like with you is kind of like 50-50, because I know at some point you went to Lagos Business School. So at the point you went to Lagos Business School, did you know you wanted to do interior
Okay,
design?
so okay. I think that's the funniest part about my journey. So typical, like I said, from Nigerian family, you're done with your BS, you go for your masters.
Yeah.
And for some funny reason, I was already exhibiting traits of being a businessman. And then my sister had already gone to London. My brother had joined her, and I'm the last child. And then my dad said, "Okay, you're next. What do you want to do?" I said, "I'm not going back to school." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. Like, I want to do business." He said, "You don't have any certificates." Okay. So he tried to make me travel as well, but I was so sure I didn't want to leave Nigeria. So the closest thing for us at that point was Lagos Business School.
Okay.
And I think that sort of shaped my...
What specifically did you do at Lagos Business
I did the
School?
SME.
Okay.
Yeah, and the SME program, SEM 36 actually. And it just sort of gave me a better direction into what I was doing. Because at that point, I wasn't sure if I wanted to be an interior designer or a fashion designer.
Yeah.
So that just made me realize that I was more of an image consultant, so I could do both of them simultaneously.
Okay. So in fact, it's Lagos Business School that helped you decide or woke you up to the fact that you know...
opened my eyes to see that, I could function as both.
Yeah. All right. So this leads me to a quote of yours that I came across, right? Where it says, "What was once my interest and hobby eventually became my profession. Now I am fortunate enough to be paid for bringing my imaginative ideas into reality." So I want us to spend a bit of time on this and dissect it a bit, just for us to understand how, or that transition from hobby to business. Because you have to
create a balance.
Yes, and if you don't treat it like a business, people won't treat you as if it is a business, if that makes sense to a certain extent. So even in terms of little things like registering your brand as a company physically, that sort of thing.
Okay, so I think for me, I've been very lucky, and so I always ask people, are you a business artist or a commercial artist? So I think my foundation has always been very business. The quest to make more money, and then along the line, people started calling me these names: interior designer. People started calling me a creative, but I don't think that was the first thought in my head. So typically, I had the passion to do things for people, like get spaces done. I was the most reliable person for you to call to get things done. So I set up my company first as an interior design firm because a friend of mine sat me down and told me that you have to register your company. That was over 10 years ago.
Okay.
Say, put register your company. Like, why are you always doing these things for free? I'm like, okay. Because when I do something to them for free, their friends will call them, say, "Oh, did this thing for you?" They say, "Ah, that's my guy that did it." And then I would want to offer the same service to their friends. They're like, "No,
for
just
free."
charge them. So that opened my eyes, and then I started trying, and then it was working. I would try and put some figures in my head on how much I think it would cost to do something, and then I present it to the clients, and they are happy to pay. So I think that sort of shaped my mind into now really focusing more on how to convert my craftsmanship into doing a scalable business. And of course, setting up a business account was very important. We did the registration, we formed the names, got directors, opened typical company accounts, and then we just tried scaling up.
A lot of your work is using reusable materials, right? Can you talk us through that and how you came to that decision?
So for the funny thing is, I had to dig into my mind to really understand why I'm drawn to waste. I don't believe anything's called waste actually. So I think everything can be reused. So when I got into my design journey, I always preached designing for less. I didn't believe that you have to spend so much to achieving the result of a good space. So I just started getting attracted to things I find on the road, from tree cuts to tea cans, and I just either paint on them or put a plant in it. And he gave me more fulfillment actually. And then as I kept on doing it, and people started recording the idea behind what I was doing, then it became more fun and then more intense. And then I now started trying to now find ways to upscale them.
Yeah.
So what I mean by upscaling in the sense that you can see something that we picked out of the trash, but you can't even identify it anymore. Because we would have painted, would have clothed, would have treated it very well. Yeah, so that's how I found my fits in.
But has it been easy?
Because of course it wasn't easy.
How receptive have people been to? Because I can imagine people like, why do you want to put this thing inside my house?
10 years ago, it was crazy. I used to be heartbroken when my clients would tell me they didn't like my design brief, because I put a lot of recycled elements, and then they would say they don't want it. But the Port Harcourts and Worry Boy and me would say, just do it like that. So I would convince them, and then they would pay. I would make what they want and make what I like, and then towards the end of me delivering the product, I would still go ahead and put the things that I believed in. Some of them, because they were in a hurry to open up their businesses, they would agree.
Yeah.
And then they would say, don't worry, after the opening, we'll get rid of it. But as God will have it, during the opening, of course, they will invite me. Everybody will be speaking about, oh my God, did you go into the bathroom? Oh, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you look at the mirror made out of a radiator? Do you look at the tissue holder was made out of a wheel spanner? Then my clients start blooming. They get very excited about what I've
Because even for them, I guess all these things are conversation starters.
Yeah, so it starts helping their businesses.
And it helps their businesses.
People will be wondering like who designed your space?
Yeah. So I guess the most important thing for you was let your work shall be visible, the visibility of the work. Yes. And then people always say that sometimes people don't know what they like until you show it to them.
I realize it happens here a lot. People don't know what they want. They want to look like their friends a lot. Yeah. So it wasn't easy. Even till date, people would just call me and say, "Oh, I want to do up a space. Please, don't put stone in my bedroom." I'll laugh. I say, for sure, you're going to get stones inside your house. So they are still struggling to accept the idea of recycling. And I'm we're happy what's going on in the world now. But clearly what we're seeing in the world, everybody's trying to cut costs as much. So I believe that this is the time for everyone to accept by force.
Designing for less.
Teaching people how to actually make their own products without even calling us.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So what I was even going to ask based on that was, is the business model something that is cheaper for you? Is that where the less comes in?
Yeah, it's cheap. It's cheaper for me. I think the final output of the projects would look very upscaled, but if you pay attention, you will see that we used waste materials. So I think it's cheaper for us and then cheaper for the clients as well. Most importantly for the clients.
Okay, another question. Based on these things being waste and things you find around, is it easy to replicate things? Can you... So you know how if you buy fresh juice, if you shake it, this one might not look the same as this one, just because it's natural stuff. So with waste, is it the same, or you can get to the finished product, or get the finished product to look identical? So
now the thing is, we don't want them to be identical. So part of what we call it, my design style is called, for me, I call it organized chaos.
Okay.
And then I have a gallery in my head called Jaga Jaga.
A gallery in your head?
Yeah, it's called Jaga Jaga.
Is that called?
We're working on it.
It's called
called Jaga Jaga because I don't believe anyone can hit perfection.
Yeah.
So in trying to perfect things just makes it useless. So we call them one of one. So I can make you 2 gas lights, almost similar, but with the way we would have layered it, you can spot the difference. And it's very deliberate because we call them fearless expression. So when we give it to people in the studio to design, we're not put them in the box to perfect it.
Yeah.
We want them to design how they feel, and that's a good product already for us.
I feel like you built like an ecosystem for
Yes,
yourself,
I have, actually.
right? With different things feeding into different things, right? So, can you take us through ADD Plus? I think it's called.
Yeah.
What's that about?
So ADD Plus is called A.ea Designer Plus Consulting.
Yeah.
So I had realized that I wasn't just practicing interior design in Nigeria. I was doing more of business solutions. So I was living in my clients' dreams. I knew what they wanted to do, and I was more eager to bringing them to life as well. So ADD Plus was just more me as a brand, away from S.ea.Consulting and liked by other companies.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, nobody knew who was behind these brands. Some clients will say, send us a portfolio. There's no picture of anybody on the website. We want to be sure we're paying money to. So when people started poking the company to get more visibility, then we created ADD Plus, so ADD Designer, which is like the one that the creator that gives birth to the other companies. So ADD Plus is just my personal life, basically.
Yeah, and I really like the idea of the plus in it and how it represents
So many
expansion
things. Yeah,
and growth,
expansion,
and just
exactly.
I think you've deliberately not allowed yourself to be pigeonholed or to say, okay, he's one thing.
Exactly.
You have
Been able to I've diversified so much over the years. So today I'm an interior designer, tomorrow I'm a fashion designer, tomorrow I'm a set designer, tomorrow anything.
Fair enough. And I'm sure you found a way for each one to be feeding. They're all kind of interconnected somehow.
We found a way. So with the boutique hotel we just opened now, all our business are in one building. So as a guest, you can experience from our fashion line to our product line and to our mini mats business as well that we're currently running. So everything, once you come into the hotel, you can see everything happen from production to projects to a lifestyle.
So as we're in a relaxed environment, how do you relax?
So the funny thing is when I heard business and booze, they're calling my name. So I'm either doing business or I'm drinking. So that's how I already work.
Okay, so this is even a fantastic setup for you.
This is my show. Yes, actually.
Okay. Do you remember your first million naira by any chance? And if you do you remember how it came and what you spent it on?
Okay, so that should be it can't be my personal life. That should be business, because the first 1 million naira I had was gotten from my dad.
Okay.
And I spent it in a couple of days.
On enjoyment.
Yes, because I came up with the plan. My friends were doing Forex way back.
And
then I wanted to partake. I wanted to make some more money. So I went to meet him and told him, oh, Dad, I want to do something, make some extra money. And he's like, I'm not going to give you my money. I'm going to give you your money for, I think he gave me money for 6 months or 10 months. So he asked me how much I wanted every month. I told him, and then he multiplied it and gave it to me. Because I told him it was a viable business. Every month would pay me to some. I'm like, okay, go and try. Of course, I lost all the money. Of course, I lost all the money.
But what lessons did you learn from that?
So what he said to me was, what is too good to be true is not true. So I don't get involved in things that are anything that is now. I don't get involved in it.
So how did you earn your first million?
I earned my first 1 million naira officially from work.
Yes.
I think the first ever project I did that paid off. A friend gingered me to charge the client for consultation. That's just to know if the client was serious enough to pay
to follow through.
Craftsmanship. And they paid. Then I was charging 50,000 naira. The client paid, and then my due then was about 2.5 million, and then she paid. We're both screaming.
No risk, no reward.
We're both screaming, and then I think I gave the lady 4 weeks to finish up the project. I finished in 2 weeks. The man couldn't believe it.
It's the ginger.
Yes.
The money propelled you.
I think that was the first million I made off business.
Okay. And from there, we now find ourselves where you are designing the homes of the Remas of today.
Yes.
Timaya.
Yes.
Loosely. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you talk us through that?
Okay,
And
so
I've seen the pictures of the Rema. It's like stepping out of, I don't even want to say stepping out of Nigeria, but
it's definitely not Nigeria.
It's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I always say to my team, like, how do these people find me? I realized that lately I started getting a lot of Nigerian musicians, filmmakers, and the likes of them come to me to help them design.
Yeah.
So for Timaya is my brother, so it was very easy for us to bounce off our energy. I know him very well. He's very stylish, so design for him was very easy. It was a canvas for me to play with, you know. But for Rema has a style, and I think before he even reached out to us, I had not really processed him very well. You know, so after he reached out to us and then he gave me a brief of what he wanted his home to look like, I'm like, okay, this one has something. So of course we came as a team and then we defined what we felt could work perfectly for him. And yeah.
So process-wise, how do you find working with other creative people or people that are in creative endeavors? And do you prefer working with them as against maybe working with more structured people? Yeah.
So I think working with creative gives me more room to be creative because they understand. And apart from that is identifying the fact that you're creative and they love what you do. So they almost let you do what you want to do. But the good thing about structure is that structure structures you, which every creative needs.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I enjoy both. But if I have to ever choose, I like to work freely.
Yeah, with people that allow you to express
Yeah,
yourself.
it's not going to happen. So
Fair enough. Well, you've been fantastic. I think we have come to the end of this
okay.
tete-a-tete.
Okay, interesting.
And so we like to just have a cheeky toast. What do we say? I think to more color in our lives.
Amen.
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 All right.
Thank you.
There we go. All right. And hey, this has been Business and Booze. I hope you've picked up one or two things about one or two things. And we'll see you again. K10 out.